We're up to race number 6 here on Racing to Win, your guide to Wednesday night's programme at Happy Valley. The 6th is a Class 3. It's over the 2,200 metres. Headed by Rickfield, drops back into Class 3 company. And Doyes is 2 out of 3 course and distance. First time over the 2,200 metres here for Super Chic. Ensuring's a course and distance winner. Good heart success. Course and distance first time, as it is for Hay Run. Rule Lee goes up in class, and Happy Contender, much like Rule Lee, was behind Premium Champion last time out. So we've made our way to the touchscreen here, Brett, to have a look at the speed map because, well, how much speed is there really? Rule V from a wide gate may well find himself in front from a slow pace. Sort of forced the issue last time out.
These are always entertaining races, aren't they, Andrew? Because they're generally very tactical battles. I agree. I think the way it's set up is pretty much how it might unfold. I tend to think Sharp Sailor potentially could try and get this spot outside. Whether Super Chic wants to try and be a little bit closer, whether he's got the pace to do that's a question, and maybe Ensuring might try and sort of hold that spot. All that being said, this is the key horse in the race back here, Rickfield. Look at his record. He is a noted horse getting back and has made moves halfway through the race before at the Valley in a race of this ilk. So does that take place? I think if Rule Lee sort of rolls along a little bit too slowly, there's every chance that Derek Long, who takes the ride on Rickfield there on Wednesday night, might be taking off from the back, and maybe even one or two others get involved as well. So it's a tricky little one to work out. But Rule D, I think, potentially leads early. All right, so it's the potential for some fun games here, Paul.
Yes. Yeah, always fun and games in these long-distance races. And Doyes is one that does like this particular distance. You can see Zach Purdon's aboard for this, and he's moving along really nicely. He's set up. He's a real star of this horse, so this is his go. He's been racing over a lot shorter distances recently. Rule D, as we mentioned, nice and easy work, all but one at his last start, and the 2,200 metres is not going to be a problem at all for him at all. So it wasn't that much to show, just a couple of pieces of track work. Make you boys work and get back to your seats quicker.
All right, we're in here now. Let's have a look at Rickfield then, who might be the key horse here. He's still a fair way back as we pick it up when they're swinging in.
Yeah, on this occasion, he was unable to make a move because it was 1,800 metres and the Golden Age ran them along at a fairly sort of genuine clip without overdoing it. But he still ran well, and he also ran well prior to this behind Donoso and Gold Mount, both at Sha Tin. But, you know, 2,200 metres, although he did make that move over the 1,800 in the past last season, I think 2,200 metres is ideal for him to potentially do that.
Yeah, I think he'd be hard to beat. He's some quite good value as well, and I think he's come up a nice price. Barrier 12, he's just going to have to get back, but we know that, so it's not really a hardship.
All right. Well, what about Super Chic? He's run well here in the past, the back end of last season, and Doyes as well. Not really his go on the all-weather.
No, not at all. And Doyes has been running over like unsuitable distances, and we know his go is the further they go, the better for him. Zach Purdon has jumped aboard now from Barrier 2, so he's going to be right in this particular race. Super Chic's been running pretty consistently on the all-weather his last couple of starts. Has run okay at the Valley before, so it just adds to the puzzle as such.
I'm more interested in Super Chic, to be honest. I know Andois has got good form, course and distance, but that run was, I know it was on the Derb, but it just didn't look that pretty. But Super Chic is one I have time for, but I didn't sneak him in.
All right, OK. Number of them coming out of this race. Lotus Strike Back fares best, but Ensuring Hay Run. Again, Hay Run gets up in trip. Will this be his day?
Well, a lot of these horses race each other quite regularly, and you could sort of make a case for a number of them. Hay Run's a very interesting runner because he's been getting back and hitting the line noticeably in his last few efforts. We know Ho Ho Feel's been in good form, Ensuring's been knocking on the door for a while, and Lotus Strikes Back as well. So you can make a little case for a number of these. I'm happy to leave Lotus Strikes Back out because I think the barrier might be his undoing.
It's interesting. I mean, it just shows how open this race is. The outside of the field is Ho Ho Feel, who runs pretty well. He's paying 23. And the favourite's Ensuring, which was finished alongside him, 4.3.
Yeah.
So it's a really open race.
Yep. All right. Well, a likely leader is Rule D. Let's find out if that's the plan with trainer Paul O'Sullivan.
Rule D, Paul. He's a horse that his best run last season was over 2,000 metres. He ran well over 2,200 last time out. Is he an out-and-out stayer?
I think pretty much so. You know, he didn't get the best of runs in his last start, and he just went down narrowly carrying a big weight. I think the step up, he is placed in Class 3, and he's got a bit of an awkward draw, but if they run it along at good speed, he'll certainly run the trip out.
Where would you like to see him from that draw in the run?
Oh, look, I think we might go back from that draw. It can be a funny run race, those 2-2s. They can sort of run, you know, the first 600 as quickly as they possibly can and then steady up. So I think we'll be out of the early rush and just see how he finishes off.
And he had to make a long, sustained run last time out. Did that race take a bit out of him?
Yeah, well, it was a pretty tough run under the circumstances and given the weight he carried, but he seems to have come through it okay, so there've been no problems there.
Do you have another go at the speed map?
Maybe. Sounds like I might have to. Well, look, I mean, he sort of took up the lead about the 750 last start. He was sort of handyish, but it's very tricky. I think, as Paul mentioned there, coming up in grade and with the light weight, I thought the run overall, take away where he was and what happened, it was an outstanding effort by him last start, suggesting he's pretty close.
Super Chic, barrier 9, Tony Cruz, he likes his horses to go forward. Maybe he'll lead.
Well, we had him there as a potential sort of horse that might roll forward, but it's a bit of a juggling act, isn't it?
It is, always is with these ones. Does that change your view then, Paul?
No. It's tricky enough as it is. I've got Rickfield on top because I think he's a real out-and-out star and he's been running very well recently, and he'll get back. We know that. Rule D is the other one. And he did make that mid-race move and went really well at his last start. Ensuring he's consistent without winning over these longer strips and always up to the 2,200 metres is the key for him. But Rickfield at $13, I'd be backing him each way, and yeah, it's a tricky race, so I'll just back each way.
I've got the same Quinella, actually, just a different order. I'm happy to go with the 11, Rule there. I thought it was a terrific run last start. He's got the lightweight. Rickfield, for the reasons Paul's mentioned. I made Goodhart Success my long shot last day. He just didn't get the pace he needs, but there's still something to come from this 8-year-old. He's close, and he might like the 2,200. Ensuring gets all the favours. He's drawn 4. Whatever happens, if it's a slowly run race and they just crawl and then sprint home, or something goes from the back, he should get a good run from the gate no matter what. So yeah, I thought he had to go in. 11, 1, 7 and 5. I'm happy to go with the 1, 7, 11 Q because they're a bit of value.
Yeah, not much change for me. The only one, I'm sticking with Hayrun, giving them a chance up in trip there.